Hello, art friends. I am going to quickly show you how to create your graded value scale. You will need a blank piece of paper, a pencil, a sharpener, a ruler, and a piece of scrap paper. Okay, this is going to be a 10-inch by 2-inch value scale. Now this is the silly ruler I have. You can use any ruler. If you don't have a ruler, find any straight edge. I have this fantastic dachshund who is going to be helping me with my straight edge today. And I would say to get the right size for 10 inches from the tip of your finger, you can guess. So I'm going to make 10 inches tall with my ruler. Draw one line to 10. Mark one little dot across where the 2 inches is. One down at the bottom. Connect those 2 dots for the second. And yeah, great roller, I know. This is what I have. I'm sure whatever you have will work just fine because we're just making it work. That's what's happening. I'm now going to mark off every inch. Now, if you, again, don't have a ruler, I'd say an inch is about like from the tip of your thumb to your first knuckle could be about an inch. So if you do that 10 times, that could be 10 inches. And your thumb across from tip to the second knuckle could be 2 inches. So that could help you if you don't have a ruler. So I'm going to mark every inch all the way down, stopping when I get to the 9. And then I'll do the same thing down the other side. And this is just so that we can have a nice, neat distribution of boxes. Okay, there. Now, connect the dots, and you will have the beginning of your graded value scale. Now, this is called a graded value scale, not because it's graded, even though it will be, but because it goes from dark to light. If you think about grading, if you grade a hill, so if you see steep grade ahead in the mountains, it's because it goes from very high to very low, very quickly. We are trying to make this gradual. That's where graded comes from. You gradually go from one thing to another. So really, the grades that you get, A, B, C, D, etc., are gradually taking you from 1 or from 0 to 100. And I hope that's what you'll get on this. So we have our 10 boxes. Again, this is a graded value scale. Graded value scale. You can use a lot of fancy pencils, but we are just going to be using our trusty number 2 today. It's good if it's wood, better than a mechanical pencil, and obviously eraser is helpful, but you can always use any eraser that you have in the house. And again, a pencil sharpener, which you'll want to use after all these notes. Okay, so the very top box is going to be black. The very bottom box is going to be white. What are you going to put in this box? Nothing. That is right. This top box is going to be as black as a black hole. It should swallow your soul. There should be no white in it of any kind. So, how do we get the darkest dark that we can get? We push really hard. We are using the technique of pressure. Some value scales use line density. That's what you would see with ink if you put lines closer together or further apart. We are using pressure. So for the very top box, we'll push very hard, which means for this box, right before the white, you're going to push very lightly. So as we move down, it is easier to add dark than to take it away. So you want to be sure that you're going slowly, adding value until it's going to be different from the box above it and below it. So a note for you, each box should be different from the one above it and the one below it. Now I'm going to show you how you can make the black or the gray consistent from edge to edge. There are a couple of methods that you can use to do that so that it will look smooth and consistent, and each box will be one value. You're trying to make sure that each one is different. You are learning how to see value, how to differentiate it, and make sure that you know what is darker and what is lighter. That will help you make the most effective depth as you're adding shade to upcoming images that we'll be making. Okay, so let's start with this black. We are going to try to use the same method the entire time. Now, as I go further down, I'm going to employ a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to use this test prep thing that we don't need because SATs have been postponed for now. So, these are interesting times we're living in, people. Thank you, COVID. So we are making sure, and you might want to notice that as I'm going back and forth, you'll get these little pieces you can just kind of blow away. I'm being careful around the edges because I want it to be as neat as possible. You're also learning how to use these tools. Beyond trying to get value, we're trying to get more comfortable using a pencil and getting it to do what we want it to do. That's right. Don't let the pencil be the boss of you. You be the boss of the pencil. All right, so we're almost done with this, but I can still see white. And white is verboten. Right, Dachshund? Jawohl. So we are going to make sure that we get rid of all of this white. Listen, people, being cooped up inside makes you crazy. And as you know, I'm already a little bit crazy. This has just pushed me over the edge. All right, you get it, right? So we're going to fill this entire box now. If you were with me, if I saw any speck of white, I would not accept it. So you need to keep going until it's completely black. Now that's actually one of the easiest boxes you're going to do. Second only to the box that's white, which you shouldn't even look at. It gets nothing in it. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it. It doesn't exist. Now the next box we're moving on to is going to be our darkest gray. So you are going to start again lighter than you need to because you cannot as easily take it away. Now we all know in order to take away dark, all you have to do is use an eraser. Well, they never make it as even as it was before. Now, if you push really hard, you're going to damage the paper and dent it. And so you want to be careful that you're using a lot of pressure, but not so much that you're going to damage the paper or your pencil. You can always add layers. Layers are wonderful. We're filling it in, adding layers. Now that's a pretty big jump. However, because we want to make sure, and again, you're going to fill this all the way, but for the sake of time, I'm going to skip on. As you move to the next one, you want to make a distinct difference. Now that difference is not quite distinct enough, but I can add layers to the box above, which I will do. And now you can more easily see that there's a difference between this box and this box. So eventually you will keep going until like this lovely person's value scale, you have a distinct difference between each box going from black to white. You should have 8 different grays, and each box should be completely different. Okay, pencil, eraser, ruler. I'm sorry if you don't have your own dachshund, but I'm sure you'll be just fine. Good luck, students, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.